Hey guys, short lesson. I thought to start off the week. Day one kind of introduced us to the idea of proofs, and what we talked about on Friday is a little bit different than what we're going to see here on Monday. This is actually the last page of day one from chapter two, and we're just going to take a quick look. I thought I'd give you a mini lesson today on a couple laws of deductive reasoning. So deductive reasoning is a little bit different than some of the geometry proofs we're going to do. It has to do more with logic, which if you go very far with math at all in college, like I remember seeing so many problems that had to do with logic and proofs, deductive reasoning is crucial. So I'm going to give you a second. Let's read over the law of detachment. And if you're confused, that's all right. I will try and explain it. So you can pause the video and take a look. Okay. So we see that anytime when we have a conditional statement, if it is true, then anytime the conditions for that hypothesis exist, the conclusion is true. So in other words, if you have a true statement and you get the right hypothesis set up, that means you can guarantee the conclusion that's going to happen. Now, if the conditional statement is not true or the conditions are not met, you can't make a valid conclusion. That doesn't mean the conclusion might not actually be real, but that just means you can't justify it. So let's take a look, guys. Here's our conditional statement. We see the if and the then. Now, here comes the condition, or here comes the condition. The condition for the hype. A crow has feathers and can fly. Well, let's look back at the conditional statement. If an animal has feathers and can fly, then it is a bird. So if a crow has feathers and can fly, and we know this right here, big thing is that's true, then if a crow has feathers and can fly, we can also say that not only is the conditional statement true, but yes, the conditions of the hypothesis exist right there. So that comes from that, and true has to do with that. So what can be concluded? If we know if animals have feathers and can fly, and then they are a bird, and a crow has feathers and can fly, then we can say a crow is a bird. That's deductive reasoning. That is the law of detachment. If this is true, and this part of the setup applies to this animal, then this can be concluded as that. So I'm going to let you guys try this one for me. See if you guys can knock this one out. You can go ahead and give it a shot. Let's take a look, guys. So our conditional statement, if a triangle has an angle with a measure greater than 90 degrees, then that triangle is obtuse. That's our conditional statement. Well, guess what? That conditional statement is true. How about this? Let's say we have a triangle, GHI, and there is a measure, HGI, in that triangle that is 110 degrees. Well, guess what? The condition for that hypothesis is also true. It also exists. We have an angle bigger than 110 degrees. Well, if we have an angle bigger than 90, which 110 is, right? Last time I checked, what can be concluded? Triangle GHI is obtuse. If we have a triangle with a degree bigger than 90, we can say it is an obtuse triangle. All right, this last one's really interesting, guys. I'm going to give you a little bit, just like I did with the last one. We have the law of syllogism, which is a really weird word. So take a moment to read over that. So check this out, guys. The law of syllogism is just a way to string together two or more conditional statements to draw a conclusion based off both of them. And you're going to notice that the conclusion of each conditional becomes the hypothesis of the next conditional. So check it out. If you are climbing Pikes Peak, then you are in Colorado. If you are in Colorado, then you're in the United States. Wait a minute, we have repetition here. Then you are in Colorado if you are in Colorado. Thanks to the law of syllogism, we can say, okay, if we know climbing Pikes Peaks means we're in Colorado, and we know being in Colorado means we're in the United States, we can cut out the middleman here and say, okay, if that's the case, thanks to that law, if you are climbing Pikes Peak, which I've never been, by the way. I always wanted to go to Colorado. That's someplace I hope some of you guys get to check out someday. I've heard it's beautiful. But then you are in the United States of America. So if you're climbing Pikes Peak, then you are in the United States. Give this next one a shot, guys. See what you think. So if a polygon is a hexagon, then the sum of its angle measures is 720. Well, if that polygon's angle measures add up to be 720, then that polygon has 6 sides. Well, let's cut out the middleman. So if a polygon is a hexagon, that must mean that polygon has 6 sides. So guys, our homework are going to be the multiple choice on this back page. So homework is here. Also, big thing, check out the practice homework and the answers that I attached at the end. Make sure you start to work those, guys, because from day 2 on, this chapter is tough. So I posted these today. Check out the practice homework and answers. This homework is different, but I hope to be talking to you guys soon.